So I think that a lot of times teachers are really isolated in their content areas, and there's not a lot of flow between departments or like even conceptual flow. We do a lot of projects, but the central ones that I do are a collaboration with World History. In the fall, they write a research paper, it's called Systems of Belief. Our overarching question is, to what degree do we choose what we believe, and to what degree are our beliefs impacted by our environments? And so they pick something that they're studying in their world history class. They have to keep a research portfolio. The idea is that they have all semester to do the paper. They have to read a book, and they get support in both classes, but they also have to keep up with mini deadlines. So it's just as much about the organization and the research process as it is about the actual product, which I think is really important. These papers sort of force them to think long range and then produce something like really go deep. There's a writing portfolio that goes along with it. So all the different writing modalities that we explore throughout the semester, like rhetorical, precise, and poetry analysis, even poetry writing, sometimes a creative story, it kind of depends. It changes a little bit every year. It's important to give students work that's real, as opposed to just, I'm going to do this PowerPoint or this paper, and then I'm never going to think about it again.
So I have the kids when they're ninth graders, and this is a very new experience for them. Most of them have not been in project-based learning up to this point. So they come in and they hear about the different options, and they get to vote on which project they're most interested in. And we're almost always able to give the kids either their first or second choice. Then they start on research papers. So they're practicing all the literacy skills, doing research, citations of information, and then they present that research to the class. Then they start designing their own goals, the tasks that they need to accomplish to reach those goals, and they make a proposal. They write it all up as if they were handing a proposal to a boss, and this is what they're going to do and how soon they're going to get it all done. And they get to design their own goals. Whatever they're interested in doing, they get to do it. Now, they do have adults there to help them. There's a parent and there's a community partner that's an expert in the area. Those adults guide them, but it's their project. They have to learn how to write a professional email and how to speak on the phone. They've had to do interviews with the newspaper. They have to do public speaking within the class. At the end of their project, they get up on stage and they explain to an audience of about 100 people what they did in their project. They have a PowerPoint that guides them. They have to be very reflective, because we want to build reflection into the kids. We want them to really look at, how did things go, what was hard, what was easy, what would they do differently next time? Because I think ultimately that's what we want, people who are reflective. That's how you grow in the rest of your life. An example this year of a lead project was a group of 6 kids that chose to be a part of China Camp State Park. It's a state park that's a couple of miles away from our school, and the kids were just given an idea that they need to do education around that park. So they decided that they wanted to make a book for elementary kids, kindergarten through 2nd grade, where this was their target audience. And they did all sorts of research. They had a parent partner that was involved with them, and then a community partner that's very involved in the state parks. They learned all about the ecology of the park and also the threat that climate change has. So they created this wonderful book that they then took to elementary schools, and they chose which schools they wanted to go to, contacted the teachers, the principals, and they gave a presentation, and they were able to present all the kids in those classes with a book. It's so much more engaging for everyone, and I don't need to worry, are they actually doing something? Because they are. They're so proud of what they're doing. They got to set their goals, and so often they reach their goals and then they have their stretch goals, and they do that too because they're just so on top of it. They spend all sorts of time outside of school on weekends. I'm amazed at their energy, and you don't see that kind of energy in a typical high school class. I love teaching. I love the enthusiasm. It's very different teaching in this project-based environment because the kids, they want to be here, and they get to use their creativity and communication, critical thinking, collaboration. they're just so engaged in what they're doing. And oh my gosh, as a teacher, isn't that the best thing, to be around kids that want to be here? It's fun. And it's not teacher-centered at all. They're doing what they want to do, and I'm just guiding them as they need it.